Hello everyone! I'm so happy to see you all again on our familiar channel. Thank you for always being by my side, supporting and following each episode throughout this journey. Your love, encouragement, and feedback have been the greatest motivation for me to continue telling this heartfelt story. In today's video, we will return to the journey of Ly Hoai Ca, a woman of great resilience who quietly sacrifices and faces countless challenges in life. This is not just a simple story for entertainment, but also one that carries profound lessons about love, understanding, and compassion. Each episode is like a page in a diary, recording every smile, every tear, every hardship, and the simple joys of the characters. Today's episode is especially meaningful as it not only continues the flow of emotions from previous episodes, but also introduces new and unexpected twists that are sure to move your heart. So, I invite you all to sit back, relax, and watch the video in full so you won't miss a single detail. Trust me, the moments we share today will bring you unforgettable emotions. Early in the morning, the first rays of sunlight filtered through the rustling bamboo grove at the gate, casting a golden glow onto the red brick yard, still damp with night dew. The crowing of roosters echoed from near and far, blending with the chirping of birds perched on the roof of the humble wooden house, creating a serene symphony of the countryside. On the porch, Hoai Ca and her little son Tony were preparing for a new day. On the old bamboo stand, a phone was carefully set up to record their video. Hoai Ca, her hair neatly tied back with a few loose strands clinging to her sweat and dust, smiled brightly. Hoai Ca and Tony say hello to everyone, wishing you all a joyful and happy new day. Her voice was clear and warm, like the morning breeze. Her hands still carried the scent of fresh vegetables, proof of having just pulled out the last rows of mustard greens from the garden to sell at the market. Tony stood next to his mother, his round eyes sparkling in the sunlight, his chubby cheeks flushed red after running around the yard that morning. Innocently, he waved at the camera, his innocent face glowing with excitement as he shared this simple moment of life with his mother. Just as everything seemed peaceful, hurried footsteps suddenly echoed from the gate. A young woman in her early 20s, disheveled and breathless, rushed into the yard. Her pale face showed fear, and she burst into tears, almost pleading. "Madam, please save my sister. She's had a high fever since yesterday. I don't know what to do." Inside the house, Hoai Ca's foster mother was carefully wrapping herbs she had gathered from the forest the day before. Hearing the desperate cry, she startled, quickly dropped the bundle, and hurried out to the porch. Her eyes were stern, but her voice was warm and filled with concern. "Calm down, child. Tell me clearly. Where's your house and how do I get there?" Still panting, the young woman stammered nervously. "It's about 500 meters past the market, along the cement road. My sister has had a fever since yesterday. We tried herbal water, but it didn't help. I'm so scared." Ha nodded, already calculating the route and the medicines she needed to bring. She quickly tied the herbs into a bundle, slung a cloth bag over her shoulder, then turned to her daughter. "I must go right away. Take care of things at home." Hoai Ca wiped her soil-stained hands on her worn apron, her eyes filled with both worry and determination. She nodded. "Don't worry, mother. Tony and I will manage at home. Today the orchard owner is coming over so I can pick pomelos. Once I'm done, I'll bring them to the market. It should still be in time for the morning rush." Tony, who had been silently watching, finally looked up at his grandmother with wide, worried eyes. In a small voice he said, "Grandma, go help them. I'll stay home with Mom. I won't be naughty." Ha couldn't help but smile gently. She bent down to stroke the boy's hair, her eyes full of affection. "I'll be back soon. You two take care of yourselves while I'm gone." With that, she hurried after the young woman toward the gate. Her figure was slender, but her steps were quick and firm. Along the misty village path, the two of them gradually disappeared behind the bamboo grove, leaving the little house behind. Hoai Ca turned back inside, gently squeezing her son's hand, silently praying her mother would reach the sick child in time. In the yard, the sunlight was now brighter. The cicadas had begun to buzz, heralding a new day ahead full of toil and worry, yet also filled with hope for mother and son. The shabby thatched hut sat at the end of a dirt alley, its straw roof worn thin and riddled with holes where rain had seeped through, leaving dark stains on the clay walls. Inside, it was dim and damp, the musty smell mixed with the lingering smoke of the cooking fire, making it hard to breathe for anyone who entered. There was nothing of value except for a rickety bamboo bed pushed into a corner, covered with a few torn mats. On it lay a frail boy, curled up, his face burning red like embers, lips cracked and dry, each shallow breath faint and hurried. Every shiver that rattled through his body sent another tear down his sister's cheek as she stood helplessly beside him. Ha set her medicine bag down on a wobbly wooden table, next to a nearly empty jar of rice. She slipped off her worn coat and quickly moved toward the bed. Her aging eyes showed sorrow, but her voice was firm, carrying the weight of experience. With such a high fever, you mustn't cover him with blankets. It will trap the heat and make it worse. Go fetch a towel, soak it in warm water, wring it out, and wipe his whole body to bring the fever down. The young girl nodded frantically, then hesitated. Her reddened eyes brimmed with tears, and her clumsy hands trembled, unsure where to begin. Ha watched her, sighed, then asked, "Do you have any money left in the house?" Startled, the girl lowered her gaze and murmured, "No, none. I'll try to borrow some." Ha gave a slight nod. Her thin hand patted the girl's shoulder, part comfort, part encouragement. "That's fine. Any coin will do as long as it's real. Boil an egg, wrap the coin in the egg white, and use it to draw out the sickness. Remember, always stroke downwards from the forehead to the chest, then to the arms, the stomach, and the back. Do it evenly so the cold can be released." She opened her bag and pulled out 2 bundles of dried herbs, their pungent scent filling the room. Handing them to the girl, she instructed carefully. "This one is for detox. Brew it for him to drink to lower the fever. This one is for recovery. Make 1 pot each day. If he doesn't get better in 2 days, come to me right away. Don't wait." The girl trembled, tears streaming down her face, and fumbled out a few crumpled coins from her pocket. With shaking hands, she tried to press them into Ha's palm. Please take this. My family is poor, but I can't accept help for free." Ha shook her head, gently pushing the money back. Her voice was stern yet kind. "Keep it for your brother. What matters is saving lives, not money. Right now, the only thing that matters is him getting well." In the kitchen, the clay pot on the wood stove began to bubble. Steam rose, carrying the sharp smell of boiling herbs throughout the hut. The girl, still crying, followed instructions, boiling the egg, peeling it, wrapping the coin in its white, and beginning the treatment. Ha guided her hand, steady and precise. "Hold it firmly. Stroke downward, gentle but sure. Focus more where he feels the hottest." At first, the egg white was pure and smooth. But after just a few passes over the boy's burning skin, it turned gray and sticky, as if it had drawn out the poison from his body. The boy whimpered softly, but soon his breathing began to ease. A short while later, the first bowl of herbal medicine was ready. Ha patiently propped the child's head and spooned the bitter liquid down his dry throat, sip by sip. Sweat began to bead on his forehead and trickle down his temples. His ragged breathing grew slower, steadier. Relieved, Ha laid her calloused hand on the boy's forehead. Feeling the fever ebb slightly, she turned to the sister, her tone gentler. He's better now. Stay home and care for him. Keep him away from wind and damp air. Don't let him outside. Remember everything I told you, don't forget." The girl nodded through sobs, eyes shining with profound gratitude. In the dark hut, the fire crackled brighter, and the pot of medicine bubbled steadily, like a promise that hope still remained. Hope for the sick boy, and for the two orphan sisters clinging to Ha's compassion to weather their time of hardship. As the afternoon descended, the sunlight slanted across the line of bamboo, casting a golden glow over the moss-covered roofs of the village market. The dirt path leading into the market shimmered with fine dust, rising with each step of the passers-by and scattering into the air. Voices called out to one another, haggling filled with laughter, blending with the cheerful giggles of children chasing each other and tumbling onto the ground, making the marketplace even more lively. The bustling, spirited atmosphere seemed to gather all the vitality of the countryside into this late afternoon scene. In one corner of the market, Hoai Ca spread a clean burlap sack over a bamboo stall and neatly arranged the first harvest of pomelos, green, glossy, round, and plump. Their gentle fragrance, mixed with the earthy scent left behind by the morning rain, carrying a refreshing, soothing feeling. Beside them were bundles of mustard greens freshly pulled from the garden, still damp with dew, their leaves bright and tender. As she set out her goods, she called out in a lively, melodious voice that seemed to harmonize with the breath of the afternoon. "Sweet early-season pomelos here, aunties and uncles. Come, I'll cut one open so you can try a slice." With quick hands, Hoai Ca cut into a pomelo, skillfully separating the golden segments, releasing a burst of fragrant essential oils. She held them out to customers, her eyes sparkling and her smile radiant, like the very sunshine of the afternoon. Shoppers began to gather around. A farmer with a shoulder pole stopped to buy vegetables, a passing vendor was lured by the fruit's fragrance, and even a woman in a thin raincoat, hurrying along, couldn't resist pausing with a friendly smile. "Give me 3 pomelos. I'll take them home as a gift for my parents. Good fortune for the season." Hoai Ca deftly weighed the fruit, wrapped the vegetables, her face always smiling, her hands never still, giving, receiving, returning change. Her warmth and sincerity made every customer leave with joy. Before long, the basket of pomelos, once piled high, was already half empty. At that moment, Ha's figure appeared in the distance, walking slowly back. She had just finished treating a sick child in the village, her posture a little weary, but her gaze still gentle, her voice soft as ever. Seeing her daughter busy among the customers, she sat down beside her, picked up a small knife, and leisurely cut open a pomelo. The segments burst with juice, few seeds, the sweetness spreading across her tongue. She smacked her lips, her eyes lighting up with mild surprise. "It's really sweet, child. Sweeter than last year's crop." Wiping the sweat from her cheek with a cloth, Hoai Ca smiled. "It's the start of the season, mother. Later on, when there's more fruit, the price will drop, and it won't sell for much. Maybe you should sell the pomelos from our garden too, otherwise all our effort will go to waste." Ha stayed quiet for a moment, her eyes drifting toward the far end of the market where people bustled endlessly past. The noise and laughter seemed to fade in her thoughts. Finally, she nodded slowly, her voice heavy with concern. "Yes, but let's wait until Hùng comes back. With him here, everything feels secure. But these days, I haven't been able to reach him. I'm worried." She sighed, her thin shoulders trembling faintly. That fleeting worry in her aged eyes made Hoai Ca's hands falter as she arranged the vegetables. She clenched the edge of the bamboo basket tightly, trying to mask the unease rising in her chest. Forcing a calm tone, she said, "He must just be busy with work, mother. He'll be back. We have to believe in him. Amid the lively backdrop of the afternoon market, with its bargaining voices and bursts of laughter, mother and daughter sat at their humble stall. One wrestled with the daily burdens of making ends meet, while the other carried in her heart the heavy weight of longing and anxiety for a loved one far away. And within the bustling crowd, their quiet worries grew steadily, like a gray cloud stretching across the sky as daylight faded into dusk. Not far from the village market, in the spacious three-room tiled house of Comrade Min's family, the late afternoon air was calm, with only the soft drizzle tapping steadily against the old roof tiles. From the main room came the scent of herbal medicine, smoke curling upward from a clay kettle set on glowing coals. Hung sat at the wooden table, carefully holding a steaming bowl of medicine. His face had grown thinner after days of bearing his wounds. A dark bruise still marked his forehead, and his right arm was tightly bandaged. Yet his eyes, though weary, still glimmered with resilience deep inside. He sipped the bitter medicine slowly, then set the bowl down, speaking in a voice filled with quiet emotion. "Thank you, Uncle, and your family, for taking care of me these past days. Without your medicine, I don't think I could have managed." Opposite him sat Min's father, an elderly man still strong in presence. He nodded kindly, his voice steady and compassionate. "It's good you're better. These days, I've been worried too." Min is still out helping the villagers, settling a quarrel between a young couple. "He should be back soon." Hung gave a slight nod, his gaze drifting toward the porch. Outside, the drizzle continued, the late-season chill slipping in through the door's cracks. With a quiet sigh, he spoke, his voice low and heavy with longing. "Tomorrow, I'd like to ask permission to return home for a few days. I feel safe here with your care, but I miss my family too much." The old man placed his calloused hand on Hung's shoulder, shaking his head gently. "Don't be hasty. Wait until Min returns, then we'll decide. Traveling far while you're still injured, with this damp, changing weather, it's risky. Finish these 3 more days of medicine first, then think about going home." Just as his words ended, the door creaked open. Min stepped inside, his clothes damp from the rain, drops of water dripping onto the brick floor. Removing his conical hat, he smiled lightly at everyone. "It's settled now. That young couple finally agreed to talk things out, no more trouble. As for the household registry of Zhang Xiao-True's family, I checked today and found 1 person missing. Tomorrow, I'll hand the corrected files over to Comrade Nam at the tea house by the hill, so nothing gets overlooked." Turning to Hung, Min's eyes softened with concern, though his tone was slightly stern. "And you feeling better yet? Your face is still swollen." Hung nodded faintly, a pale but determined smile on his lips. "Much better already. I'm thinking of asking to go home for a few days. There's still much to do there, and I miss my wife and child." Hearing this, Min stepped closer, laying a firm hand on his friend's shoulder. "I understand. But your health comes first. Take these medicines with you, and drink them daily. The roads are muddy, the weather unpredictable, be careful. Don't give your family more reason to worry." In the warmth of the house, the fire flickered on the hearth, while the rain drummed softly against the eaves, like a lullaby. The 3 men sat together, one a friend filled with concern, one a father worried for his son, and one burning with the longing to return home. Late at night, the rain had finally stopped. The dark sky revealed faint stars glimmering behind a thin veil of clouds. The village path, still streaked with puddles, shimmered faintly under the careless light of the moon. From the roadside ditches, the croaking of frogs and toads echoed, a reminder that the rainy season had truly begun. Along that path, Hung walked with a dark hat pulled low and a simple travel bag slung over his shoulder. His steps were slightly uneven, weighed down by his bandaged arm, Yet his eyes lit up as the familiar silhouette of the wooden house appeared in the night. A warm glow from an oil lamp spilled out of the window, like a lighthouse guiding a weary soul home. In the yard, little Tony sat cross-legged on a bamboo tray, carefully picking through pomelo leaves left from the afternoon market, counting them as if they were part of a child's game. Hoai Ca sat beside him, her eyes glancing toward the lane, silently waiting for a familiar figure. Meanwhile, Ha was briskly washing dishes at the water jar, but her ears were tuned toward the gate, her heart restless. Suddenly, she looked up, her voice trembling with joy. "It's Hung, he's home." Tony leapt to his feet, eyes sparkling. "Father, Daddy's home." Startled, Hoai Ca turned to the lane. The moment she recognized her husband's face, bruised and his arm wrapped in white bandages, she froze mid-step. Tears welled in her eyes as her voice faltered. "You? What happened to you? Why didn't you call me?" Hung stopped, forcing a faint smile, his tone soft with apology. "There was a storm while I was on duty. The signal was weak, my phone battery died. I tried to call, but it wouldn't go through. Just surface wounds, nothing serious. I had scans at the hospital, no lasting damage." Ha dropped the damp cloth in her hands and hurried forward, her eyes brimming with both worry and relief. "As long as you're safe. Come inside, have a warm meal, and rest." That night, the family gathered around the wooden table for dinner. The dim oil lamp cast a soft glow on their faces, no longer tense, but filled with the comfort of reunion. Their conversations flowed, about the floods in the lowlands that left villages underwater, about the afternoon market where customers praised the sweetness of the early pomelos, and about the poor girl's sick brother who had finally broken his fever after taking Ha's herbal medicine. Recalling his trip, Hung mentioned the herbalist who had treated him. He carefully pulled out several small packets of herbs from his bag and handed them to Ha. The doctor was skilled. "These herbs helped me recover quickly. I brought some back for you to check." Ha examined them closely, nodding with approval. "Good medicine. But the climate here is different from the lowlands. Tomorrow I'll add some forest herbs to suit our soil. Take them fully, don't stop halfway." After the meal, Tony dozed off on his mother's shoulder and was carried to bed. Only then did Hoai Ca dare to sit close to her husband. Her trembling hand touched his bandaged arm as she whispered, "Does it still hurt much?" Hung smiled gently, squeezing her hand. "It's better now." She lowered her head, her voice breaking. "I was angry you didn't tell me, but I understand. All that matters is you came back." He stroked her hair softly, his gaze warm. "I promise. From now on, I'll never hide anything. We're family. There should be no secrets." Outside, the breeze rustled through the pomelo grove, carrying its fresh fragrance into the house. Ha brought out a pot of hot tea, poured it into small cups, and sat beside her daughter and son-in-law. Her eyes reflected both joy and a quiet concern. "When you're fully recovered, help me tend to the pomelo orchard. The fruit is good this year. If we sell early, the price will be higher." Hung nodded, his voice steady, filled with resolve. "Yes, tomorrow I'll check the yield, set a price, and call our regular buyers. We'll sell the first batch for income, but keep some of the best fruit to share with our neighbors. Let them know we never forget kindness." In the warm wooden house, under the moonlight breaking through after the rain, 3 generations sat together. All the longing and worry of the past days melted away, replaced by the quiet, enduring joy of reunion. The next morning, the sun shyly rose behind the green hills, its first rays turning the thin mist golden. The calls of bulbuls and magpies echoed through the trees, blending with the late crowing of roosters from the houses below, creating a lively symphony as the village awoke. Inside the wooden house, Hung was already up. He laid out a stack of papers, carefully reviewing the files that needed to be handed over to Comrade Nom when he returned to the office. Though his wounds had not fully healed, his eyes were clear, reflecting the familiar sense of seriousness and duty. On the porch, Hoai Ca busied herself with preparations for the orchard, a large basket, a sharp knife, a few sturdy ropes. Little Tony darted back and forth excitedly, clutching a small plastic basket, his bright eyes sparkling with eagerness at the thought of following his parents into the garden. Together, the family set out for the pomelo orchard. The dirt path leading there still bore the deep tracks of cartwheels from last night's rain, puddles glistening under the morning sun. A light breeze carried the gentle fragrance of young pomelos. The orchard stretched out in neat rows, each tree laden with round, glistening fruit hanging under lush canopies. Dewdrops clung heavily to the green leaves, sparkling like jewels in the sunlight. Hung walked slowly along the rows, his eyes scanning each tree before jotting notes into his notebook. Stopping at a tree heavy with fruit, his voice was steady and resolute. This year's crop is uniform and good. I suggest we divide them clearly, the finest fruit for our regular buyers, the first grade ones for the market, and the second grade for making preserves, dried peels, or pomelo wine. Ha stood, with her hands on her hips, her face glowing in the morning light. She smiled warmly and nodded. That sounds right. With careful planning, we won't have to fear low prices. Our pomelos are no less than anyone else's. At that moment, hurried footsteps echoed from the lane. The elder sister of the feverish boy from the other day rushed in, carrying a steaming bamboo basket. Her face was brighter, her eyes shining with relief and joy. Madam, my brother is much better now. His fever has gone down, and today he even managed some porridge. I brought you these freshly boiled corn cobs as a small token of thanks. Ha stepped forward to receive the basket, the sweet aroma filling the air and warming everyone's hearts. Looking at the girl, her eyes softened with compassion. That's good news. But you must continue to care for him carefully. The weather is fickle this season, and relapses are common. Follow my instructions closely, he'll recover soon. The girl glanced shyly at Hoai Ca, offering a timid smile. Yesterday I saw your pomelo stall at the market, so many customers. I'm happy for you. I hope you sell well. Hoai Ca wiped the sweat from her brow and replied with a friendly smile. Thank you. When the pomelos ripen in full, come by, I'll give you some for your brother, to help him regain his strength. The girl bowed gratefully and hurried off to care for her sibling. After their goodbyes, the orchard returned to its peaceful rhythm. In the distance, ducks quacked noisily across the fields behind the garden. The sweet scent of boiled corn lingered in the morning air, blending with the fresh fragrance of young pomelos. The dirt path glistened in the sun, and the vast blue sky above seemed to promise a brighter, gentler day ahead. On the third morning, the sky was still pale with mist hanging thick along the village lane. Inside the wooden house, Hung carefully finished the last bowl of medicine given by Comrade Min's family. The familiar bitterness slid down his throat, but this time he no longer winced. His body had regained strength. The bruise on his forehead nearly faded, leaving only a faint line like a pale thread across his skin. He changed into a fresh shirt and slung a small backpack over his shoulder. Inside were not only the files to be delivered, but also instructions and hopes for the days ahead. His eyes sought out Hoai Ca's deep, steady, and full of tenderness. I have to go back to the office for a few days to hand over the documents. Then I'll return, and we'll take the pomelos to market together. Hoai Ca bit her lip, her eyes glistening, and nodded. She said nothing more, only held tightly to the corner of his shirt, as if to keep a piece of his warmth before parting. Ever practical, tucked several packets of dried green tea and a few rice cakes into her son-in-law's bag for the road. Her voice carried the care of both a mother and a seasoned companion. Take care of yourself on the way. Don't forget to take the medicine regularly. And when you see Min, give him our thanks for all their help. Hung bowed respectfully. Yes, mother. At the gate, just before leaving, he paused and turned back. His eyes lingered on every detail, filled with love. The corner of the yard where the three of them had sat the night before, sipping fragrant hot tea. The row of pomelo trees heavy with fruit, shining in the morning sun. Hoai Ca in her simple brown blouse, one hand holding a bamboo basket, the other still clutching his sleeve unconsciously, and little Tony, standing shyly with clasped hands, stammering, "Gee, goodbye, Papa." Hung chuckled softly, the gentle smile erasing his fatigue. He nodded and replied quietly but firmly, "Wait for me at home." Then he set off. The village road stretched ahead, sloping gently toward the ridge. Dewdrops clung to the grass along the path, sparkling under the new sunlight. In the distance, the tea house at the village entrance came into view, where two men, Comrade Min and Comrade Nam, were waiting for Hung to deliver the files. Beyond them, rooftops shimmered in the bluish morning smoke, and in the fields, villagers were plowing again after the floods, planting seeds of hope for a new season. Back in the orchard, Hoai Ca still stood beneath the pomelo tree, her eyes following his figure until it faded from sight. Ha came up beside her, resting a firm but gentle hand on her daughter's shoulder, her voice warm. "Everyone has their own duties, but this home will always wait for its own. Remember that, child." Hoai Ca smiled faintly, whispered a soft yes, then turned back to her work. She drew her familiar knife and began trimming the branches. Above her, the pomelo leaves trembled in the breeze, catching the golden sunlight like drops of honey. The orchard glowed with life, heralding the true start of the pomelo season. And amid the bustle of daily life, healing a feverish child, selling the first harvest at market, reconciling a quarreling couple, one truth remained timeless: compassion. Fragile as a thread, yet as enduring as the roots of an old tree, it quietly bound people together after every storm, giving them strength to carry on. So, after days of resting with his family, Hung must once again return to duty, to the responsibilities of a soldier on the front line. Behind him lies the little wooden house and the pomelo orchard entering its harvest season. There are Hoai Ca, little Tony, and Ha, who wait for him each day with longing. But will the road ahead truly be peaceful? What new trials await Hung and his small family back in the countryside? Stay tuned for the next episode to continue walking alongside them, to listen, and to share in these deeply moving stories.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay thì mình đưa đến mọi người video tiếp theo. Mọi người cũng đã theo dõi video rồi đấy. Thì mình mong rằng có thể nhận được ý kiến đóng góp của mọi người nhiều hơn để có thể cải thiện kênh mình ngày tốt hơn, và mong rằng sẽ nhận được sự góp ý của mọi người nhiều hơn để có thể ngày càng hoàn thiện kênh hơn. Nếu như mà mọi người yêu quý kênh mình cũng như là yêu quý câu chuyện mà mình mang tới thì hãy like, subscribe và để lại bình luận cho mình nhé. Mọi người ơi, nếu như mà yêu quý kênh mình hãy ấn đăng ký kênh, sau đó bật chuông thông báo lên nhé, để không bỏ lỡ bất kỳ video nào mà kênh mình sẽ đưa tới. Mong rằng sẽ có thể gặp lại mọi người trong những video tiếp theo.